Are you ready to create something that not only your customers love, but also has the potential to go viral? Today, I'm gonna show you how to create a trending matching couple sweatshirt that has the potential to sell like crazy. Whether you are a print-on-demand pro or just getting started with print-on-demand, this tutorial is gonna be packed with beginning to end how I do it and tips, tricks to make sure that you are getting the most out of your designs. First step for creating anything with print-on-demand is going to be research. Luckily for you, that is something that I do on this channel for free. And I know what you're thinking, Megan, this is a video, it's posted on the internet, it's seen by a ton of people. Yes, but I only have 3.3K subscribers. So basically I'm telling you secrets. There are print-on-demand gurus and YouTubers out there that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. That is not me. So if you're here and you're subscribed, thank you. If not, hit it. But these are not things that are fully blasted out across the internet. So I like to keep my research focused on trends and hacks that I see that I am very interested in. And so I'm gonna use what I have done so far in the last couple of months, getting ready for 2025, to pick out some different trends and ideas to showcase how to make this example today. So in my last few videos, I've done a few different trend spotlights. One of those trend spotlights was basically walking through the Pinterest predicts. Pinterest is basically a tool online that you can go onto and post and create boards and basically get design inspo or even shop for different vibes and feels. And they release a report every single year that walks through, given all the data that they have on their site on what people are looking for, what they're expecting to trend well in the upcoming year. And there were a couple of trends, well, there were a lot of trends on there that I thought were very cool, but a couple of them that I think would lend well to a matching couples sweatshirt. And the first trend that is self-explanatory is that matching couples clothing was on the rise. So this is exciting to see because it's not something that is completely impossible to get into. If you have a design in your shop now, you can always just kind of edit that and tweak that to be more of like a matching opportunity for a significant other or a girlfriend or something like that. The other trend that I saw was top of the list within Pinterest was that cherries were on the rise. The color red, but also just the design aesthetic of having cherries incorporated into your designs. So those are two things that I'm like, okay, both of these are cool. There's data involved here to show that these are upward trending. And how can we layer in maybe a level of seasonality and trending timeline that might give these designs a boost? And so what's coming up in February? Valentine's Day, which is the perfect time to get your significant other or your gal pal a matching type of item. And so I think it's a perfect time to do a little bit more research together on what's kind of existing in this space, knowing that we've already crossed the T's on two trends that we're gonna cross niche, matching couples and cherries. And we're gonna tie on top of that the organic, just natural trend of people searching for things for their friends and significant others, which is the holiday of Valentine's Day. So now that we have the initial idea, I think it's important to also state that a lot of people think they can come into print on demand and completely innovate in the space, create a completely different design, open a category that didn't already exist, and really try to pave something that is brand new. And while I think that is possible and it does happen, that is harder to do with print on demand because you don't have the data there that makes it clear if this is going to trend well or not. And so while you can definitely make a lot of money by being an innovator in this space, I'm not somebody that is going to lie on here and say that I came in and my designs were groundbreaking. Nobody had ever seen anything that I had put out. That is just not true. It's not the typical way to create 5-figure months in print on demand. In order for us to do this, we have to understand what people want, what they're buying, what is trending. Take that information, take those examples, not copy, take them as inspiration to get a better understanding on what is out there and do it 20% better. That can be a better design, that can be a better offering, that could be a better price, that could be much better customer service. There are different ways that we can make that 20% better. Today we're gonna focus on the design, obviously, but that is how you should operate in business and think with more of that business savvy brain of what is working well in this space that I can take in, digest, and improve upon for the consumer, knowing that there's already something there that is working that I can make better. You should be taking what trends and types of products are out there working, making them your own, and then listing that and providing the best customer service that you can for your customers. The first steps we're going to take to kind of getting this design started is we're going to just make sure that we are verifying that what we think is going to sell well could sell well. Once I know that I want to do something in the matching space and I have an idea that I will be listing that with the seasonality of Valentine's Day in mind, I'm going to go to Etsy. I'm going to use my trusty tool Everbee to look and kind of creep on what types of Valentine's listings are selling well. And so what I have here is basically exactly that. I have my Everbee tool pulled in. The search term that I have looked at is Valentine's. I have filtered my listing age to 1 month, just so I can see things that are like trending right now, not things that have been on the platform for months and months and months, but things that are really fresh, really new, and are trending at the moment. And I'm just going to scroll down. I've sorted this by monthly revenue, and I'm going to kind of keep an eye out for things that are in that like matching couples space and kind of see if there's opportunity here. So the first one that I see is going to be this matching couple sweatshirt, which is kind of exactly what we're talking about doing here. It looks like they've done a little bit of a gamer type of theme, which is really cool, that allows you to customize this for the player, kind of like the Nintendo opportunity. And then it looks like they also allow you to put in a date on the wrist, which is very cool. And they're using a pricing strategy that means that they've listed it as a sweatshirt, but there are t-shirts included here as well. So from a pricing perspective, okay, $30 for a Gildan 1800 crew neck is definitely reasonable. There is still profit to be had there. People are purchasing a sweatshirt, a crew neck for $30-ish. We know that on Printify, these are closer to like $16 plus the shipping. So this is something that from a profitability perspective would still make sense with print on demand. So a good initial check mark that we are in the right direction with the design that we're trying to launch here. So once that I verified that that is something that is working and I have an idea on what people are wanting in this space, something that is customizable potentially, something that is not like identical matching, but more like coordinating, that's enough to get me started with my design. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto Kittl and I'm going to start looking for different templates and designs that might make sense in this vertical that I can change and tweak to my liking. I really like the idea of incorporating cherries because it's something that is trending really well on different platforms, and we're seeing it pop up not just on Etsy, but we're also seeing that design aesthetic pop up in Target and different major retailers, which is a good sign that we're going in the right direction, that we should be incorporating that into some of our different pieces. And it's a good way to test that we've noticed and observed that trend. Let's see if it's something that performs well within this kind of cross-niched vertical of matching boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend hoodies and sweatshirts. And so I just went ahead and typed in casino because since this is going to be a matching or a coordinating kind of set that we'd be offering, cherries are a little bit more potentially feminine. And I think potentially having something that is like casino and like luck related. I liked that design that said like player 1, player 2. And what if we did something like that was like lucky me, lucky you, that kind of is a nod to this is a couple's sweatshirt without saying like boyfriend, girlfriend or whatever. So I think we could do something that is coordinating where there is a casino vibe for more of the masculine version. And then we incorporate the cherries, which is also kind of like slot machine type of themed, for the more feminine version of the crew neck hoodie that we'd be making. So you can see here, exciting with Kittl as well, they've actually just launched a new interface for their platform. Kittl is constantly coming out with new and improved features, so I highly recommend looking into Kittl for all of your different types of designing needs. I love them for this exact purpose that I'm gonna go through today, which is giving me inspiration to be able to see different templates that exist that I can tweak and make them my own for the designs that I will be designing. So I've typed in casino and I'm just scrolling down to see kind of what exists on the platform. I kind of like something that's kind of simple, as we saw on that other design. It doesn't need to be a full back piece or anything. It could be something that's smaller, like logo type of basis. I mean, these back pieces are really cool too. But I like something that's a little bit simpler that we'd be able to edit a bit without needing to be crazy. So after taking a look at these, I think the one that really fits more of what I'm thinking about is the Lady Luck Casino logo type of vibe. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna like make this a little bit simpler, remove a couple of different pieces, and edit the text to be more closely aligned to what I'm thinking for this sweatshirt. So what I have done here is I basically just I've made it red that I think will match more closely with the cherries. I've taken off the texture, I've changed the text. I think this little saying of like lucky me on like a black hoodie is super cute because it kind of alludes to you're lucky to be with your partner, but it's not saying like I'm a partner. And so I love this type of design. So what I'm going to do now is, given the fact that I'm trying to make this like a his and hers version, I'm just going to duplicate this design here by clicking the duplicate button. And what that basically allows me to do is have 2 of the different templates within my artboard. They've added in all these awesome layout tools that really allows you to see professionally how everything is structured within the design space. And you can customize your artboard style, and you can have a ton of different artboards on here, so you can kind of start creating options and making tweaks and changes. So a really awesome platform to have like multiple different matching and coordinating pieces, so you're not having to like flip back and forth between multiple different artboards. It's all within one design space. So I have these 2 on here, and I can start making my edits on the secondary version and making it to be more kind of cherry centric. The only thing that I want to be different here is going to be the graphic. What I'm going to do is I'm just gonna click on the image generator, and I'm just gonna type in cherries, and I'm gonna see like what pops up here. And as you can see, it's gonna just generate, I didn't give it a specific style, so it just generated like a whole bowl of cherries. I'm gonna go back, and what I've done is I've downloaded this graphic as a image, and I've uploaded that as the save style. So now when I run this, I'm hoping that it utilizes more of this clip art-y type of style to create the image that I'm looking for. And by doing that, it generates a bunch of more of like closer to illustrative cherries that I really like. It spit out these kind of like black cherries that I think are very cool. However, it's a little bit too busy for me. And while I could go in and I can erase a lot of the different line work here, if you click on the image and you hit this Kittl Copilot, which is also new, what it will do is it'll drop out with all different types of options that you can tweak and edit this design, which means you can restyle this, you can replace the image, you can erase different pieces and fill it. It also just gives you a lot of different options that are similar to this, but also slightly different. And so I'm just gonna check this because I'm pretty confident I'll be able to find something in here that is more closely related to what I'm looking for, that is a little bit simpler. So I'm kind of liking more of this vibe that is more basic, or this one that feels a little bit more simple. So I'm gonna try and replace with this image. Once I have that image, I can get rid of this one. I can pull the cherries over. I'm going to remove the dice because this is going to be what replaces that. In the illustration colors, I want to choose basically the same colors that I have on the dice so it looks cohesive when these 2 people are wearing them next to each other. And so if you just click on the illustration button, you'll be able to see that since both of these artboards are in one design, you can use the same colors across the entire artboard. So this is the color that I used for the dice version, so I'm going to include that here as well. And I'm gonna do the same. I don't need multiple colors, so I'm just gonna make sure that those are in and looking good. And I'm going to shrink this down to be closer aligned. And I don't really love that I like the leaf, but I don't love that the leaf is facing towards the writing. So I'm gonna go ahead and then just flip this horizontal so the leaf goes the opposite direction. I also like that the dice have this kind of like border around that. So I think I'm going to add a border as well and see how that looks. Again, using the same coloring that I did on the dice and increasing that border weight to be more closely aligned to what we see on the dice as well. Cool. And then the last step is basically going to be just changing the positioning and pushing it backward behind the text. So I will do that now. Now we have this kind of like cool design that has the cherry, so it hits that mark. It also is cohesive because it's more of that like feminine version of the dice. and allows us to have kind of a his and hers type of version that folks will be able to use. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Printify. The example that we looked at was a crew neck, which I think looked really amazing. To make our design a little bit different and test a different type of style, in addition to potentially launching a crew neck, you could launch a hoodie, which is a little bit of a higher price point. But as you can see, if you have Printify Premium, the actual cost of this is going to be around $15 to $16 with the $7-ish shipping cost. So all in, you'll be spending about $22 here, and you would likely be able to get anywhere from $35 to $45 for this type of hoodie, depending on if you decide to personalize it or not, which means that you'll be sitting in that 25 to 30% profit margin area that is really healthy and realistic for print on demand. The last step is going to be designing these products on Printify and pushing them over to Etsy or Shopify or wherever you sell. Keep in mind here that you can edit and choose a different placement to make it a little bit different. You can also go ahead and offer similar type of customization options that we saw on Etsy and actually offer this as a coordinated set, lucky me, his, hers, dice, cherry, cute moment, but also have a personalization option that they can give their date of their anniversary or the year in Roman numerals or something like that, that just gives us an extra element of personalization that encourages people that it's worth a little bit more to spend a little bit more. Keep in mind that whenever you are doing multiple different placements on the garment, you will end up having to pay a little bit more. And keep in mind that if you opt for embroidery, there is going to be a digitization fee that is charged whenever you create a new design. So while the initial design like this is only going to be needed to pay that once because you're going to be using that same design over and over, if you do offer personalized embroidery for a date or Roman numerals for the year or something like that, presumably each one of those is going to be different. You have to pay an additional fee whenever there is a different text being applied to the garments. But that is it. That is how I would take all of the research that we are constantly doing of learning about different trends like cherries, matching couple trends, apply that to different designs that are working well, but make them 20% better, list those products and add the different types of elements that make them better and unique, and hopefully drive a lot of revenue for your own print on demand shop. If you are interested in designing with Kittl, I'll also throw in a promo code in the bottom of the video where you can get 25% off your first month or your first year. If this has been helpful whatsoever, please like and subscribe for more content like this.